really creating outcomes for those individuals rather than simply creating outputs and just building technology to build technology to make a big government contract, rather create it for a reason to have the outcomes of those people who cycle in and out of these systems.
Hmm. And do you see this technology scaling beyond the US in the future?
I definitely think so. I mean, every country has inmates, and all of them deal with the same issue of recidivism and reentry. The United States is actually probably farther along than many of the other countries, and so there are a lot of downstream positives too that can happen, from low skilled labor markets to addressing some of the unemployment rates to having pipelines to jobs or to education. So outside of the United States, we've already been talking to some groups in Mexico and the Bahamas, as well as Latin America, but can definitely see that scaling really anywhere. And we hope to provide outcomes, positive outcomes to everyone across the world.
That sounds challenging, but really, really exciting, Silas. Um, and when we talk about recidivism, sorry for the pronunciation, it's
Sound like sea anemone. You like can't say it.
I think it's just it isn't a personal issue. It has economic and societal costs. So, talking about the measurable impacts, do you have any success story that personally stands out to you? Someone whose life was completely changed by having access to these resources.
Yeah. I could tell many stories, but one that immediately jumps to my mind is a guy named Teron McKinley, who we met in Tennessee. He was in and out of jail his entire life. He told me this story where when he was just a kid, he was a straight A student in New York, grew up in the Bronx. It was rough. So he like was fighting on the playgrounds, but he would have hookers that would end up be dead on the playground when he was a kid. So when he was younger, his mom moved him to Tennessee. They moved to like a suburban area of Tennessee, much less, rough and tumble. And when, he was a student, he got in a fight with an individual and beat him up. And, he was in middle school. The teachers sent a cop to the school to kind of take him to jail. He wasn't really arrested. It was kind of more to scare him straight. But from that moment on, he was branded as that kid who did fights. And he told himself these stories and narratives over and over again about how he was that kid. And it confirmed lots of different